Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I'm going to be interviewing my dear friend Desire Punwani, who I've known for many, many years. We've meditated together, we've traveled together, we've done a lot of courses together, and today she teaches EFT and a lot more service work with many, many people. So I'm inviting Desiree to come on and tell us what she does and what she's been doing for these past 100 days during the lockdown. Thank you so much, Desiree, for agreeing to be interviewed by me. I'm really happy to be doing this.
Yeah, I'm so delighted, Nandini, to connect with you in this kind of way. And also, this show of yours is giving me an opportunity to think about some of the things about what I've been doing, almost like a stock taking, which I think it's wonderful. So, what do? I do a lot of things. I do, of course, as you said, EFT. I do that. I I have been very involved with the community at different levels. Okay, whether it is helping cancer patients, or whether it is counseling people, or whether it is supporting my satsang, and at various levels. And often, like I like to say that I have the luxury of choice of deciding what I want to do when I want to do.
Yeah.
But definitely, one thing is for sure, that I am a doer. That there is no doubt about. Okay. And these 100 days have changed my perspective on life so completely. So when the lockdown started, at first I was really excited because I found that, there was so much of things that I loved, which was now available on the net. So I'm a regular at NCPA, and they were putting up a lot of their things which you could see at home for free. Some of them were my programs I had really liked and would have loved to revisit. I found that there were a lot of Dhamma courses being offered. There was, you could sign up for free audiobook membership. And I remember being so excited that I'll do all these things, and I, worked it around my day. However, I ended up doing almost none of it. I didn't even see one show on NCPA, because very soon into the lockdown, one thing I realized is that the thought of connecting in this way was not making me happy. I didn't want to do. And in a very few days, I realized that just like, we were all talking about how the birds have come out and the earth is getting a chance to rest, I felt that's what my body is telling me. It's telling me, listen, back off. You need to rest. Okay. And this is a wonderful time for you. So don't fill it up again with activity and things to do. Just let it be. And I remember in geography, studying that the land at times has to be left to lie fallow.
Yeah.
And that really is the kind of feeling I got, that I need to lie fallow.
Absolutely.
And what,
Desiree,
yeah.
a friend of mine, Heather, who's a psychiatrist and a counselor, says 2020 is the year of the pause. It's the
It is,
year of the pause,
certainly.
just for stillness.
And in fact, that's very interesting, because very often when I have tried to explain to people how they should react, I put it as cause, pause, effect. So I tell them that, if we just go from cause to effect, we miss that very important pause.
Pause, yes.
So this is really what I felt. And I found what I really started enjoying was routine. I would get up in the morning, go down and collect the milk. I would do my exercise. I would attend to the house. I liked the routine of cleaning, of watering plants, of sorting out old photographs, of just being, of learning to cook new things. And I really started reveling in routine.
It's lovely.
And because I have carried on that way, slowly what I find happening now, maybe since, as you're saying, it's 100 days, maybe since the last maybe 20 days or more, I've been finding a different response in myself to things. Maybe in the last month or 20 days, I find I'm more intuitive. In fact, it's interesting. My maid told me, she says, "आपको कुछ हो गया है. आप मेरे को कुछ दवाई देते हो ना, तो वो मेरे को असर कर जाती है. Like before, it never did." Okay, so but it's more because I'm allowing my intuition to tell me what to give her, rather than that I have acquired any new knowledge that because of
Yeah.
which I can give her the right medicines.
Yeah.
I also, so this definitely has been a game changer for me. It's brought about what I wanted. In 2 years, I'm going to be 70. And I wanted that by then I should transition to, whether you call it vairagya or, I don't know, the sannyas or whatever, that sort of mindset. Okay. And I think this is really helping me to do that in a very wonderful way,
That's lovely.
because it's showing me what I can drop, what I don't need,
Yeah,
and what I definitely need to cherish, and what I need to value and keep.
that's lovely.
The other thing, the other thing that I, I I felt right in the beginning when this thing started, and there was so much emotion around it. I felt that this was a time for kindness. This was a time for non-judgment, and also because this whole COVID thing requires so many inner resources from us, to be centered, to be stable, to be trusting, that if we start scattering our energy in judging, in panicking, in criticizing, then we will not be left with enough resources to nurture and nourish ourselves, and even just simply to keep ourselves grounded.
Yes.
So even if it was for the sake of our own self, not for any other great virtue, you know, the need for kindness, the need for compassion, the need for non-judgment. So it was a conscious decision I took, that no matter what, I will do my best to choose this. So even suppose at home I would get somewhat irritated with some family member about something they didn't do, I would ask myself, do you want to make an issue of it? And very often the answer would come, no, I can let it go. It does not matter that much.
Yes.
And similarly, I found in the building, we were all getting, people were getting hyper excited. So for the first time, I insisted we create a group, a WhatsApp group, which we didn't have. And the objective was of, if anyone was getting this, upset, to find a way to pacify. So the excuse I used was that because my husband Nemo and I are the senior citizens of the building. So I would always say, as a senior citizen, I have a right to tell you that, you can calm down and I will do this for you, or I will do that.
That's
But the
lovely.
whole idea was to put out an intention
That's lovely.
that we should not be at loggerheads, we should not be fighting, we should be supporting. And I must say, it has really helped the building, and people find a new togetherness, which is so wonderful.
That's lovely.
So,
Yeah, what does the word hope
yeah,
mean for you? Very briefly, what does hope mean for you?
very briefly. Very briefly, for me, hope is that space of possibilities. The thing is, in anything that happens, we have a certain expectation or a certain desire that this should be like this, that the lockdown should finish now, or this should happen, or my building should not get. Okay, so these are our expectations. And what I call hope is where I leave the space for anything to happen, which does not have to be my expectations. It doesn't have to be something I like, but it is something. It is a space for what can happen and what should happen without interference from my needs, my desires, my expectations, and my judgments.
That's lovely because something for me, hope.
Yeah.
Hope is the acceptance of this moment for the possibility of multiple possibilities to prevail.
Absolutely. You've said it better than I'm saying it. Absolutely.
It's in every moment that I see the hope. And actually, that's why I came to this title. I came out of a meditation. I came out and told my daughter that, look, I want to start talking to people because I want to know what they're doing at this time. For me, that's very, because I love people. So I wanted them to share with me. And she said, what exactly do you want them to share? I said, how they're coping. And then I want to bring the word hope into it because for me, hope is something very positive and very in the moment. It's, for a lot of people, and I understand and I accept their definition, it's in the future. But for me, like you said, it's very much accepting this moment for the
That's right.
possibilities of multiple
Yeah.
possibilities. And
I may
me
not
getting
like
out of
it.
the
I
way,
can, yeah, I can
I mean,
express that, oh,
exactly.
I don't, you know.
Yeah,
But the thing is, the fact that I can step back
yes,
gives the space
yes.
for things to happen the way they happen,
And
you
I
know.
find that in Cope with Hope, I have
Yeah,
no plan. I
yeah,
just follow the instinct that comes inside me. Call this one, speak to that one.
yeah,
I don't have a plan. I just follow the
absolutely,
plan that's given to me for the first time in
absolutely.
my life. So I understand what you're saying. I just step
Yeah,
back and I just let something else take over. I don't
yeah,
even know what's happening with Cope with Hope. It's just sort of happening on
yeah,
its own. So
absolutely.
Desiree, will
Yeah.
you do a small little process with us? Whatever what in like for the present moment, for self-compassion and kindness.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will show you two things which help me, which I teach to my cancer patients. And out of all the things that I teach them, they say these are the two things that help them the most. Okay. And they're both in the moment. All right. So one of them is a tapping point, an EFT tapping point, where whether you know tapping EFT or not. I mean, the patients all we call it tapping because that's easier, with Hindi speaking and all. All right. So a single tapping point where even if you don't know any other and you use this, it helps. It helps with certainly with pain if pain is rising, but it also helps with emotions. So if you find restlessness, anger, anxiety, anything, you find it's rising, um, you tap on this point, or you find pain is coming back or rising, and it'll, even if it doesn't go down, it certainly will not go higher, but it usually goes down. Okay, so I'll tell you exactly where the point is. So you have your collarbones here, the clavicle, the collarbones here, two of them. Okay, so if you put your finger on it and then you just slide the fingers down slightly about an inch, it'll come to rest almost at a little dip on its own, about an inch lower, you know. So for some people, it may be half an inch. For some people, it'll be an inch. As you slide it down, it kind of rests there. Okay, so that is your point. And I often tell people, don't look at others, because for some people, the collarbones are very near. For some, it's very far. So, when people look at each other, they think, oh, am I doing it wrong? But you're not doing it wrong. So you need to tap both together. So either you use two hands like this, or you use your fingers in this way. Because, if you do it like this, you don't keep it straight. After some time, it kind of becomes at an angle, so you don't get it. So either you use a U and then you tap it with that, or if both your hands are free, you can tap it. You do that, you don't have to say anything. You breathe deeply and you just do it for about 20 seconds, is more than enough, and you let it be. You will find that whatever was rising starts going down and you find yourself calming. If you remember to drink water, that's wonderful. You can do it as frequently as you want. And there is no restriction before, after food, lying down, sitting, whatever, anything. So this is a very wonderful tool to have this point to tap, because even if you're feeling sometimes that, someone's saying something and you want to say something. Now, if you're talking to someone and you feel it'll look very weird if I do this before I answer, although, I can feel my emotions going up, the second choice, which is not such a good choice, but the second choice is your wrist point, because that can be done under the table. The other person can't see this. Yeah, the wrist point. Usually we do it like this so that we get both wrists together. Okay, that's right. Okay, so this one single point can help you hugely. The other simple thing I want to teach you, this is from Silva Mind Control. Did we do it together, Nandini? Silva Mind Control?
No, I
No,
never
okay.
wanted to do it.
Okay, no, I did it privately with one very wonderful lady, but we didn't do it together.
We did many
Okay.
courses together, but not
Yes,
silver.
I know. I'm just wondering. The other day I found that photograph, which I must send you, of Father Fuster's thing.
I also sent you one. We've done a
Yeah, but this,
counseling course together with Father
yeah,
Fuster.
yeah. So that's the one. Yeah. Anyway, so this is from Silva Mind Control. And it's called the 3-finger technique. I don't know how it works, but it works amazingly. All right. Yeah, those are the 3 fingers you keep together. Once more, it removes obstacles. 1 hand, 2 hands, whatever is free. So certainly I
Sorry,
have
Desiree,
used,
who did you do it with?
yeah,
Who did you do this with? Silver Mind
I
Control?
did it with someone called Honey.
I don't know. This is
Honey
very
Money.
familiar. Very familiar.
Honey
Maybe I
Money.
did it with you. I don't know. Okay.
Maybe. All right. So it's these 3 fingers you keep together. And what it does is it clears obstacles. So I have done it countless times when I am getting late for an appointment, when we are not getting parking, when I'm overweight at the airport. I have done it when I have to talk to someone and I'm not sure whether they'll receive what I'm saying in the right spirit. Or when I have to request. So often when I'm calling to request for donations, which I do, I have my 3 fingers together. Okay. Because, and more often than not, I get the donation. And
Desiree, 1 second. I want to ask you, do you state your intention and do this?
You don't have to, not at all. Because you know what you're doing it for. It's in the moment. You know, you're sitting in the car, you're seeing that there's a traffic jam, you might get late, you think, oh, I really need to reach on time, and then you just do this. Okay. And you can continue talking and you can continue whatever else you're doing if you're reading. It's also a wonderful, wonderful aid for if you're keeping something and you want to remember it later, where you kept it. If you're reading something and you want to remember it later, for children when they are studying for the exams, because then when they don't remember, they come back and do the 3-finger. It's an anchoring technique that helps them to remember. But certainly my patients tell me that their OPD turn comes quickly, they get a date quickly, they get a seat on the bus comes quickly, you know, and they are using it all the time, you know, when they want to ask their husbands for money, or they go to fill water in the morning and, you know, they feel that turn won't come because they are late, but they get to fill water. Very important things in life, you know.
Yes, yes.
So yes, so I really would like to share this with everyone, the 3-finger technique. So we call it the magic mudra. When I do it with these people,
magic mudra.
We call it the magic mudra, and the 1-point tapping.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Right?
Thank you. So
been a delight, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a delight. And before we end, is there any life mantra or anything that you'd like to share with all of us?
So I tell people when they ask me, very often people tell me, you don't look your age. Okay. So I think that's because I like to paint smiles on people's faces. And I think that reflects back on me. Truly, it is my experience. The more I get people to smile, the more I smile. So definitely that's life's mantra.
That's why we're friends.
Absolutely.
That's why we're friends.
We think alike.
Yeah, because we think alike. So I always hated my name, Des. You know that? I did not like it. Okay?
I didn't know.
Nandini. My sister's name is Priya. And I said, what a lovely name that is, because beloved Priya. Or Mera Nandini. What is this? I have to fight with my mom about that. And then one day, after we started meditating together, I did a yoga teacher's training. And one of the girls came to me and she said, you know, I love you so much because I love all your energy and you really like your name. I said, what is that? I was like, you know, she said, yeah, Nandini means Anand Dene Wali, the one who gives happiness. And I tell you, that's really
transformed it for you.
My heart. Yeah. I just want to give people happiness all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Like absolutely. You, I want to paint.
I think what we do, we draw our energy from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We draw our energy from that.
Yeah. It was so lovely talking to you.
Really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I've loved every moment of it.
Same here. Some people are just soul sisters and that's the way. Thank you, Desiree.
Absolutely.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye. Yes, absolutely.